Seems like we have 2 transfer lists in the summer. The one where we finish in top 4 and the one where we don't. That's worrying. But see, that's the funny thing that you say that I've seen this argument or seen this said. The 2 different lists for top 4 qualification and not. That would allude to the fact that when we got top 4, they backed us. They didn't back us. They have never backed us properly. We have always had under what we need. We have never been wholeheartedly backed. The last time we were was with the Allison stuff, Allison and VVD, but that was again reinvestment. We have never been backed. We have always gone into a season a little bit like, but this all they must have 2 different lists for top four qualification and then not top 4 qualification. But again, that would allude to the fact that if when we did get top 4 in the last 4 or 5 years, that they went and signed these top players, but they didn't. They don't, because you know why? John W. Henry is a big Bostonian ballsack bellend. Okay, there we go. B. Big Bostonian ballsack bellend. Thoughts? Again, he's not a big ballsack bellend because he's from Boston. He just happens to be a big ballsack bellend from Boston. It's excuses being prepared, Paddy, with the 2 list nonsense. Yeah, I know. It's if we think we're bad now, chat. This is the depressing thing. As bad as it is now, and as depressed as we all are now, and I know this comes across as entitled, because I'm a Big Six fan. We're Big Six fans, but at the end of the day, as I've explained, when you are following a club that is successful and you're used to the success, the downs feel even worse. If you're a fan of a shit club that are always down and always shit, like Everton, the downs don't phase you. But however, for us, we're not used to the downs, especially not in the last 5 years. I've noticed we've gone from one of the best run clubs to one of the worst run in a year. All of a sudden, a single ounce of doubt over ownership and spending has crumbled us. Shows yet again the sloppiness from FSG, who have not invested enough to stop this from happening, and they're having to spend now. They and the club have not planned efficiently enough. That's the thing. FSG might crib and they might cry that, oh, well, listen, Jurgen, like 120 million for Enzo Fernandez is a lot of money. Caicedo, $70 million. That's a lot of fucking money, Jurgen. But then you could turn around and say, well, John, you absolute fool. If you had have, kept up with the spending over the years, you wouldn't have had to do this big lump sum. It could have been done, progressively, and then you wouldn't need this big stuff. So it's your fault. While there has been some interest in purchasing Liverpool, there have been no offers and nothing real in the search for a buyer, with John Henry still preferring a minority partner rather than a full takeover. See, this is why I wanted to waffle. This is why I wanted to talk about coffee and family members and nieces and nephews and all that shite. Because as soon as I scroll, as I have a slide of my images here that has news on it, and as soon as I pressed next, this popped up, and now the stream and mood is ruined. This really pisses me off. Really, really does piss me off. Would it be a full takeover or a part takeover? Well, Zach, again, thank you for your tier 1. This suggests that the preferred mode of investment or form of investment for John W. Bellend would be minority partner, which I don't really know how much that would do for us financially. I think it just more lines their pockets while still controlling things. Don't see the point in that. I don't see the point in that either. So let's just say they get a minority stake, a stakeholder in. Minority being the key word. They will still control everything. They will still rule the roost. Why would a minority shareholder put in majority money? So I don't understand. Maybe it puts a few quid to their few quid, but I don't see the practicality of it, to be honest. They've already sold some of the club to Redbird, obviously, with Jerry Cardinal, and obviously a part of the club is also owned by LeBron James. I don't know how much, not a lot, but yeah. I don't see the reason for them to dig their heels in. Like, they have their Pittsburgh Penguins, they have their Boston Red Sox. They're now looking at NBA. Now, that NBA franchise wouldn't actually get up and running until about 2026. I think that's when they would play their first games. So they still have quite some time to chill. So maybe that is why they're not in a complete rush. But I don't know why you'd come out and say these things looking for investment and then end up staying, because it just casts doubt and creates this kind of discourse amongst the fan base. And especially when you double down on that and you kind of allude to the fact that you're not sticking around by not backing us financially. Now, if anyone says, a generation probably, yeah, that's a good show. If anyone says, oh, we got Gakpo. Like, 38 million for a club like Liverpool should be pennies and is pennies. You know what I mean? So Yeah, really, really frustrating. We're in limbo right now. We're in turmoil. We're in kind of purgatory because we can't completely go mad at them because we don't know if they're leaving or not. But the bottom line is, if we don't sign midfielders in this January, this season is finished. It's done. It's dusted. It's over. We won't get top four, and I promise you, we won't beat Real Madrid. The fact that we actually haven't done business yet, even for a midfielder, is bad enough. So to last this whole month without bringing in a midfielder would truly be, it would be such a display of negligence. They would have to be ran out of the club, in my opinion, and I hope they do. Qatar Sports Investments have ambitious plans, but understand that they are not looking to invest in Man United or Liverpool at the moment. Now, obviously, Qatar Sports Investments, I believe, is the PSG owners. They have been looking for minority or majority stakeholding in various clubs. However, it is believed that United or Liverpool won't be one of those, because I can't imagine how feasible it would be to own PSG and then also own another club in England, for example. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. That would obviously have a lot of varying conflict of interest and such. So, yeah. If Qatar buys us, it will break my heart. Listen, Liz, I understand completely. I understand ethics. I understand morals. But, Liz, am I willing to park my morals to get Bellingham and Mbappe and bring Liverpool back to the big time? Well, let's just say I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. If I speak, to be at the end of the day, right, I will never stop supporting Liverpool. I will never, it's my life forever. It will always be a thing. It's my job these days. So, who am I to see who? I'm just gonna. New owners. Oh, who? Who are they? Wait, we're signing Bellingham. Oh, okay. Can't he sell PSG and buy us? I just don't see why, though. They've come so far with that. Yeah, no, Liz, I get you completely. I would prefer it to be a more ethical person, like a very rich, clean billionaire, which obviously probably clean is not the right word, but I would prefer to have owners that don't, slaughter and behead people for having different sexualities and stuff. I would prefer that, of course. However, it's not an ideal world out here. It is quite sad though that countries are allowed own, that the countries are allowed own, because it first of all, it ruins everything. Just I don't like it. I don't like it. I would prefer, as I've always said, I prefer no countries ever got involved. However, they are involved, and sometimes you gotta break eggs to make an omelet. You know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes you gotta have disaster to make beauty. You gotta have a bit of this and a bit of that. Yeah. Sounds hypocritical. You take the piss out of City for that. Yeah, but we are an actual proper club to begin with, though. That's the difference. That's the difference with City. City were bought and brought into it. We are already big and beautiful,